Hi everyone. So myself Sneha Samnani. I'm a student of Psychology 103 from Pejang Lily, and today I'm going to present on the topic of smell perception, one of the five sense amongst living beings. So today I'll be focusing on how dogs and humans perceive differently by odor or by a smell they sniff. So the main factor over here is olfactory bulb, which is a composition of tissues which have nerve cells and which helps humans or other living beings to smell. So today, like we'll be discussing on two major studies by Aviles and Ferdenzi. And today we'll be seeing some different analysis on how these studies were conducted to see whether how dogs or humans react to different kind of odor. Usually, as we can see that as we all know that dogs have a high sense of smelling, so they usually possess up to 300 million olfactory receptors in their noses, a, a far high number from which we humans have. So uh, mainly, dogs have a high, strong sense of smelling because the area of the canine in the brain is to analyze about the odors is 40 times larger than we humans have. And also, dogs also have some different stages as puppies to the grown dog. They have different level of stages, as do we humans have. We humans percept how smells work. I chose this topic because perception is a main conduct of psychology, and due to perception we come to know how human reacts or how animals react. So on from the point of psychology, from the psychology point of view, we can see, if we know how to perceive people, we can understand how their behavior works. And today, so I'll be focusing on these studies by. So the first study is about dogs, and the main element is AHSO, the Automated Human Scent Olfactometer. It is a tool where it helps dogs to recognize humans by their sense or by their odors. They can recognize when the dog sniffs a particular odor, they come to know whether it is a familiar or unfamiliar odor. Do they know the person? Do they recognize the person or they don't? Usually, these dogs are found in helping to find criminals or finding explosives or knowing about the presence of their known people or unknown people. This tool, AHSO, helps trainers to develop new and more high standards of training methods for the dogs, as our textbooks also says that animals rely on the sense of smelling for their survival, for communication, and many more things. Also, I have the second article, which is about human perception of human. So the main factor over here is HMHA, which is 3-hydroxy 3 methyl hexonic acid, that helps humans to recognize the smell. And uh, so in this study, it is shown that, like it is studied that uh, these smells helps in recognizing face, whether they are recognizing the gender, whether they are male, female, or recognizing whether these smells look attractive. The person which has this odor is attractive or unattractive. So we'll see throughout the study that how the procedure took place or how things went through. The main methodology was the first study of dogs, which had two controls. One is positive and one is negative. Positive control means something which is known. Like for the dogs, it was about known sense, and negative control, it was about unknown sense. So the handlers of the dogs, the detection dogs, were taken to the places where they could sniff the odor. Sorry. And for the human perception to another human, uh, the HMHA, which is 3 hydroxy 3 methyloxonic acid, that was used 1% with control, with different kind of control odors and some amount of clean air. And this helped the participants to guess whether the following odor is of male or female, or whether the following odor is attractive or unattractive. So for the dog's perception, there were around 20 sessions which were conducted, and in each sessions, dogs went through different stages from holding their breath to uh, coming in contact with destructive items, and they were given some advanced trainings as well. So the main procedure was that dogs were unaware of where the odor is, even though the handlers which they were with, they also didn't knew the exact locations of the odor. And for the dogs, they had 99 seconds of search period in which they have to find whether the odor is known, unknown, it's harmful or anything. So in this procedure, the dog were dog responded to the correct and incorrect options. They also compared the performance of dogs by olfactometer tool. Also, there were some barrels where the representative volunteers would test the dog's capability of how they will percept or how they will find out the odors. The while talking about human perception, there were the faces and the odors were collected from Geneva faces and voice databases. The face were altered, and there were four different kind of identities, and they were asked to guess whether the odor is from male, female, attractiveness, and there were some different scales which were tested. So the mixture of this HMHA and then control odors and then fresh air, that mixture was released after every 3 seconds, so that the participants were kicked off by that odor so that they could give accurate results. And of course, we'll talk about independent and dependent variables in the study. So for the dog study, it was seen that independent variables were odor type, the testing methods, testing processes. Dependent variables were the response rates and the how dog responds. Also, there were some control and statistical variables as listed in the presentation. Then the for topic 2, which is human and human perception, there were three main variables in which the attractiveness rating from 1 to 5 scale was given. Then there were gender identification, which is again male or female, and then the response time. So as we saw in the last slide that every 3 seconds the odor was released. So how accurately and how fast they responded was noted down. Going through the study, I figured out that the dogs usually, which were in training sessions or uh, throughout the training, the dog, of course, they gave a correct responses, and also they were able to recognize human sense. Uh, they could see that whether the scent is recognizable, they are familiar or unfamiliar. Also, the research which was conducted, that showed that the olfactometer has some good effects, so which can be reliable, and the training sessions were also consistent and reliable. That was seen on the basis of how dog responded. This was the conclusion for the topic one, which is dog perception of human odors. I also think that uh, when we have a pet, uh, usually they get more attracted towards us, and if we are away from them, so they try to find us however the way possible is. But when the dogs are with some unknown persons, they usually tend to be scared, or they tend to be nervous, because they do not know that on dog usually sniff through everything, so they get to know whether this person is harmful or it's friendly. And from the conclusion two, like from the topic two, we could conclude that though the study was precise, but the results were not so clear. It was seen that there is no such effects of gender identification. The participants could not guess whether the scent is from the scent is from male or female. So there was some confusions in between. So the results were not clear on the gender identification basis, but either it was not clear on attractiveness basis, because they couldn't guess that on the scale of 1 to 5 which odor is very attractive and which is not. But there was one clear result which was seen, that the HMHA mixture was the odor which it had was very unpleasant. Like women's on the high basis, they rated this mixture very unpleasant, and also they responded in very less time that it's unpleasant. The duration was less than compared to men. And that's all from my side. These are my references. And yeah, thank you so much.